And what up? What's good with y'all? Today is the day, the 350Z going on the dyno for the third time. So hopefully this time around things are gonna go a lot better. So quick little insight. Before, when we had checked the compression test and we started having issues on the dyno, compression was like 130 to 150, hella low, which should have been a lot higher because this is a 10-to-1 compression motor. So now after the new heads and everything are built, we fixed everything, and now the compression is 170, 180 all the way across in all six. So compression, everything is looking A1. So we should be good today. This motor is a lot healthier than the last motor. So fingers crossed that this goes smooth and we don't have any issues. And I want to give y'all a quick little insight because I did get asked on Instagram. Somebody was like, when I showed the compression pictures, it was like, wouldn't you want lower compression for a boosted motor? Yes and no. It depends on what your overall goal is. Like most factory motors they're gonna come with a 8.5 to 1 compression ratio, aka 8.5 to 1. That's usually the standard for most of the old school turbo cars like Supra, Skylines, 300ZXs. Pretty much everything back in the day that came boosted had an 8.5 to 1 compression ratio. Where nowadays the new standard damn near for everybody that's going to be building is probably 10 to 1. 10 to 1 compression is like the standard for most people that are building their boosted motors. Why? Because a higher compression motor at the same boost will make a lot more power, and it would spoil the turbo a lot quicker. So for example, my SR, I did a 9.5 to 1 compression ratio. My 350Z is 10 to 1, and my 2JZ is 10.5 to 1. So why did I decide to go with higher compression? Why am I doing it that way? Is because nowadays you have E85, aka a high ethanol content. When you have high ethanol content, you know, your combustion chambers tend to run a lot cooler. You don't really have, like, on E85 it is almost impossible to have detonation just because of the ethanol content and how much cooler the combustion chambers are. So with if you're running E85, you can get away with running, you know, a 10 to 1, 10.5 to 1 compression ratio. But if you're on flex fuel, when you go with a 10 to 1 compression ratio and you only have 91, because in California we don't have 93 or anything like that, we only have 91. So on a 10.5 to 1 compression on 91, it gets real iffy. Like, you have to have a fucking great tune. The boost can't be high. Like on 10.5 to 1 on 91 pump, I would not recommend going over 10 psi. So for me on the SE, the 10.5 to 1, my 91 tune is basically going to be a drive around tune. That way I can, you know, if I can't get 85 or something at the pump, or if I'm driving a car on a road trip or something, I can still fill up with 91. So the car might have, let's say, 450 horsepower at 10 pounds on 91. It's perfectly fine. Then it'll make on low boost 600 horsepower on 85, and then high boost, you know, 900 to 1,000 horsepower on 85. Like I said, the higher compression will spool the turbo faster. At the same boost, you'll make more torque, you'll make more horsepower. So higher compression, you know, is the way to go if you're going to be running ethanol or anything like that. Standard 350Z motor is already pretty high. If you look in the sense of it, I actually moved my compression ratio down on the 350Z by going 10 to 1 because stock is 10 to 3. So it's slightly higher, whereas, you know, this ratio is a little bit lower. But yeah, on supercharged cars, it works a lot different than turbo cars. A supercharged car can have higher compression ratio even on pump gas, just because it's not making full boost, you know, in those lower RPMs. A supercharged car would generally make full boost at redline. So supercharged cars make full boost at redline. So those are things to consider. Also, on a supercharged car, it's good to have a higher compression ratio because you don't really make full boost in 2 redline. So higher compression ratio motors usually always rev faster and stuff like that. So with a supercharged car, you would want to rev it out quick to you know, to get into your power band. So if you have like a low compression motor, it might feel, you know, on the sluggish side of things, but that's, you know, that's just getting into the general principle of high compression, low compression, why I did it. Majority of my cars, except for the SR 300ZX, does have high compression. So 300ZX doesn't have high compression just because SRs are garbage, and I didn't want to risk on a 10.5 to 1 or 10 to 1 motor, which I could have did, but 9.5 to 1 works perfectly fine. It's slightly higher than stock, so I'm good with that. But the 350Z is kind of in the middle. still gonna be on pump and E85, so that'll be fine. But the SE is 10.5 to 1, depending on if I have, you know, spike at the manifold or any kind of boost creep to where we can't get it to stay level at 10 to 12 pounds on 91 pump, then more than likely the SE will just turn into a full E85 car. So anywho, that's, you know, that's just a little insight. I need to run to O'Reilly's right now. I need to go grab some extra plugs because I only have one set left, and I'm not trying to be stuck with one set of plugs left on the dyno, so I'm about to go get an extra set. That way I have, you know, 12 plugs just in case something comes up. I can have 2 cycles to go through if we foul some plugs or whatever. So let's get over to O'Reilly's right now, and we're gonna jump into today. Hella mad, bruh. So they ordered one fucking plug, bruh. They didn't even order all 6. They ordered one fucking plug. The fuck am I gonna do with one plug? Luckily, I have an extra set left, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I still rather have, you know, an extra spare set of plugs, because now I'm down to one more set, which should be perfectly fine. But still, I'm down to one fucking set. What's up, Granny? You gonna get out and give me a hug? Come on. Come on. I told you to wait before you got in. I'm about to leave. You ain't gonna see me all day. Come on, get out. Come on, Granny.
Come and give me a hug.
Ugh. Hi, Granny. See
Hello, big baby.
See, my Granny loves me.
Hello, big baby.
Oh, I'm getting old. I can't be criping down like that.
Well, how you think that feel?
You going to church today?
Huh?
You going to church too? No church? Just funeral?
The funeral's out of church.
Oh. Ready?
That's Saturday, not Sunday.
Oh, I'm tripping. I called in from work today, so I thought today was Saturday. I mean Sunday. Whoopsie. Now I'm about to head over to Mars, about to go pick up the 350, and then be on my way to the dyno. So let's all cross our fingers in hopes today goes flawless, no issues, just perfect. We already had 2 failed attempts, so this is attempt 3. Hopefully 3rd time's a charm, and hopefully we don't strike out. No time to waste. About to let this thing warm up, and then we are out. Already, man. Already. So yeah, let me fix this real fucking quick. Damn, up and running. Actually had one of my old small belts that is working, but I had to get rid of the extra idler I had up there. So we'll see. We'll figure it out when we get to the shop. But for now, it's running. So right now, since I'm just going downhill, the car is all the way off. I ain't trying to, you know, risk washing the cylinder wall or something like that. I ain't trying to wash the cylinder wall, so I'm just cruising downhill. And I might be able to cruise all the way to the shop from here because the rest of the way is downhill. So more than likely we're gonna be good. All right, so we just now getting here to Hyperworks. That's where we're gonna be using the dyno at. Look who decided to pop up. What up, boy?
What up, man? What up, man? What up, cuz?
See that? He driving his car now. He trying to get legit, finally getting it registered in his name, everything. Man. Took care of the paperwork. He A1 now. You can drive your shit whenever you want now, boy. Okay. But yeah, my shit running hella rich. That blue bust down. Hella mad I can't run my extra idler. Hopefully it don't slip right here. Shh, this is gonna be iffy today already. Okay, yeah, because So Ant got a tune right now that he's gonna do real quick. And then once he's done with this, we'll be strapping up to the dyno and getting ready. For all my Honda people on the channel, plain little H22 swap. Damn, looking like twins over there. Ooh. It's my twin. So yeah, I'm about to swap and check these plugs real quick over here on bank 1. So that's what I'm gonna do real fast. Plugs all clean again. So now I'm about to go throw these back in because they're finished right now. So let's get these back in.
It's a warning, it's a plea for help. If everybody is so goddamn worried about me, why ain't nobody came to help me? You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be no star. This ain't my job. I don't care if everybody don't cheer for me. You know what I'm saying? If you're not cheering for me for what I'm doing, don't cheer for me. Don't cheer because you think I'm cute. You know what I'm saying? Screw that. Cheer for me for what I'm doing, for what I stand for.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Look, he bringing out the special straps right here. You see this? He didn't use these on the Honda. Look at my good Nikes. Got on my pants, my foam posits. I was already laying down in the dirt earlier. I knew I should have wore sweats today. Today should have just been a sweat day. All right, so first little issue that we're kind of running into is the VTC solenoid. I guess it's acting up right now. everything's cool under a wide open throttle, but kind of where you holding it at 3 grand or where you be cruising at or whatever, it seems like it's not advancing the timing. So right now the cam timing is about 4 degrees off from each other. But we're gonna see. I found another one local, so I'm gonna see if I can go pick that up. If need be, I'll swap that right now, and hopefully that fixes it. But yeah, we'll see. So what's happening right now is the O2 sensor on the passenger side upper bank is that's what's causing the I guess that's what's causing the timing issue. So it's thinking it's running lean on the ECU. So what's happening is it's dumping a bunch of fuel. So on my wideband it's showing rich because it's trying to correct for it. So about to run here, grab a new O2 sensor. Ray's like 3 hours ahead of us is doing the tuning, so we gotta hurry up and make this quick. All right, so since Ray is 3 hours ahead of us, I think it's like damn near 12 o'clock his time, so that fool fell asleep on us. So right now we about to throw it on here, see if everything's cool, run it, get a couple pulls in just to make sure everything looks cool and looks all right. And we're gonna be finishing this tune on Monday. Let's see how all this goes right now. But yeah, it should be done on Monday. Good thing that we had the dual widebands, that way we can see what was going on both banks, because if it was just one single, we wouldn't have caught that. So yeah. Looking good now?
Yeah, it's good. It never moved apart from each other.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're matched up.
All right, so as y'all can see, it is next day. Your boy's at home, but yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know that I will be finishing the tune on Monday, since we got all that worked all out, so everything should be cool. But yeah, hopefully Monday when we finish up the tune, at the end of the Monday video, I will be giving you guys the winners for the giveaway. So I'll be picking the 3 winners. My bad, I haven't had time to get to it. I've just been so fucking busy with this car. It's been crazy, bruh. So I really haven't had the time to do nothing. I've been running back and forth from here when I got off work to Jamar's, and it's just been crazy trying to, you know, get it to this point to get it on the dyno. So my bad on that, but I will have my winners picked on the next video for sure. I promise. If I'm lying, you niggas could flame me, unsubscribe, or whatever you feel like you gotta do. But I'll have the winners picked out for the finishing video for the dyno. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But 3 winners for sure. I'll have y'all picked out. Sorry for the wait.
I've been going too crazy, these niggas too shady. Speed limit 65, I'm about to do 80. Fucking niggas hating on, I've been on the come up. You can go to speed, but it's better if you run up. You can ride with a nigga, but I'ma give you a choice. If you really wanna holler, then I'ma give you